right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take Sharp and Shapiro. By the way, a reminder, tomorrow on the show, Sandy Van from the Van Law Firm is going to be joining us. Legal questions. Also, Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports. And we are going to have a professional who knows a thing or two about red flag laws when it comes to gun control. That special guest to be joining us tomorrow as well. And as we mentioned, on Friday we have some very special guests joining us in studios. Old John Brookhagen from the Affinity of the Math Institute. Talk a little bit about Clark County School District. Boy, a lot of issues going on there. And the guys from Human Nature will be joining us in studio as well, doing a performance and giving away some tickets. So loaded show, jam-packed the next few days. Larry King back in the news. Okay, this is a very old man. Larry King is 85 years old. I think he's had about 80 heart attacks. Not in the best of health, yet he's still going. He's still going strong. He was in the hospital, by the way, in April in the ICU unit. Had another heart attack. Well, the 85-year-old filed some court papers in Los Angeles yesterday, filing for divorce. His wife, now ex-wife, Shawn King, 59 years old. The reason why this is a little interesting is because this is his 8th marriage with 7 different women. Yes, that's right. One woman he divorced and then he married again. This is his 8th marriage. Let me just say that one more time. Larry King, this is his 8th marriage. At what point do you just say, maybe I'm just not cut out for this? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this marriage thing. How much money, JD, do you think he has given out to his divorcees? I would say hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you think that is a fair assessment?
You think that he didn't get a prenup after his first marriage?
Listen, if he is ridiculous,
there's no chance.
I'm not going to say he's dumb enough. Obviously, he's a smart guy.
There's no chance that the last 7 marriages haven't had prenups.
We need to get that information.
I'm going to say he's probably given out $30 to $40 million.
TMZ's Mike Babcock would be more suitable to answer that question. We will ask him that question on the air tomorrow. So his wife, Shawn, says that she's not going to declare war on her now estranged husband who just filed for divorce because she's been told by doctors he's dying. That's what she said. Sources who have spoken directly to Shawn are telling TMZ that she's had issues with Larry for years and Larry with her, but she says there's a bigger issue. Larry's been in and out of the hospital over the last 6 months, and she says doctors have told her Larry doesn't have much longer to live. So that sounds reasonable, right? Your husband of 22 years is dying. So basically what she's saying is, well, he's going to die, so, let it be. Let it be. I mean, that's basically what she's saying. Also, Larry was at Cedars-Sinai Cardiac ICU, as I mentioned, in April, and he was also at John Singleton ICU. Doctors are telling Larry he might only have a short time to live. They were clearly wrong. Larry was transferred to a 24-hour care facility and then went back to the hospital. Listen, he's still alive and ticking. Like I mentioned, he certainly has had plenty of issues, health issues with his heart. I got to say, I mean, I've met Larry King several times in Las Vegas. He's always been very nice. He's a legend. Let's call it for what it is. He's a legendary broadcaster. I used to enjoy watching his interviews. I thought he was very good at interviewing people.
Brian, let's go over this. He's 85 years old. You're 39.
Yeah.
He's still doing the Larry King show. He's also doing politicking with Larry King.
Well, he's not on CNN anymore, but yes. He's been doing the Larry King show full time on CNN. He has done that for a long time.
That is unbelievable. That means you've been in radio for what, 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in radio for 46 more years, you'll be able to match him.
Impossible. That would never happen.
Unbelievable.
I think there are some people that they don't know what to do with their life, and all they know is working. I'm not one of those people. If I get to 70, I'm not going to want to work anymore.
I mean, I would argue that working and doing these shows is absolutely keeping him alive.
Perhaps it keeps his mind going. I said the same thing about Don Rickles. I was very fortunate enough to meet Don Rickles a few years ago, very short before he died. I met him at the Orleans, and I was talking to him about that, and he said, yeah, it keeps his mind going, and he still feels good. And I agree with you when it comes to Larry King, but going back to the divorce thing, why would you marry 8 different times in your life? I mean, at what point do you just say to yourself, you know what, maybe I'm just not cut out for this marriage thing? Like, I don't really understand that. I don't understand that mindset. Why do you have to marry somebody again and again?
I think his definition of marriage is a little different than yours.
How so?
Well, I think yours is, I find someone, we fall in love, we get married, and that's the way it is forever. That's just not his definition. It's a little different.
Do you think Larry King's been in an open relationship at 85? Is that what you're saying?
I would not be shocked at all if that's been the case for the last 30 or 40 years.
Do you think Larry King's getting some side piece action at 85 years old? Is that what you're saying on the air right now?
He probably has some house calls on a consistent basis from people that are not his wife.
You believe Larry King has bought hookers? Is that what you're saying, allegedly? How does Larry King hit on a woman at his age? Hello, I'm Larry. I'm on my 8th marriage, but we're in an open relationship. This won't go on CNN.
Well, assuming he's still able to have sex, how is he not an absolute poster child for Viagra?
With his heart problems, something tells me that doctors would not be prescribing him Viagra. He's had like 30 heart attacks. So you're comparing him like to Hugh Hefner? You think Larry King is like a womanizer? Is that what you're trying to say?
If he's still virile at 85 years old, yeah, absolutely. How could you not?
Hello, I'm Larry King. I'm on my 9th marriage.
The guy's looking to find his 9th wife. He's 85 years old. He's been in radio for almost 60 years. He's still doing 2 shows a week.
How do you think that first date goes when Larry King's out with a woman? And she asked him, so tell me, have you ever been married before? Because usually like when you're in your 40s or 50s, a woman or a man wants to know. And how do you think he answered? Well, I've been married 7 times. It hasn't gone very well. But, I wish them all 7 of them the very best. I mean, how do you think he answers that question? When I get a question.
All he says is, well, they all drive very nice vehicles and they all live in very nice homes.
But seriously, I mean, like if you're a woman, for that matter, Doesn't that put a red flag out there when the man says he's been married 7 other times? How do you respond to that?
Well,
I'm sorry to hear
someone
that.
looking to actually legitimately get married to Larry King is not interested in longevity. They're not interested in bearing children. They're not interested in raising a family. They just want to hang out with a guy who has a $150 million net worth for X amount of time until he's dead, or until he decides that that they aren't good enough for him.
You remember the late Anna Nicole Smith? Remember she was married to that 90-year-old?
I do.
And he left her a lot of money, by the way. How do you think those conversations went down? Hey, honey, I know you're 80 years younger than me, but would you like to get married?
I think it's more of a transactional situation at that point.
It's just ridiculous.
There's an understanding. There's an undertone that financial compensation is certainly, as well as comfort living, is certainly part of the deal.
Hello, I'm Larry King. I've had just as many ex-wives as heart attacks in my life. We shouldn't joke about that, Larry. We wish Larry all the best.
He actually almost has as many ex-wives as he has fingers.
That's ridiculous. He hasn't had any fingers chopped off, has he? No, his fingers are intact. Listen, we wish Larry the very best. Like I've said, I've met him several times, and he was very nice to me, very cordial. And let's call it for what it is. He is a Hall of Fame broadcaster.
You have
He's one
to
of the best in the
applaud his
business.
career.
Yeah,
no
question. He's an absolute legend in the business. Okay, folks, we're going to do this again. We're going to take a brief 21-hour break. We will be back at 9 a.m. sharp starting tomorrow.
9 a.m. JD sharp.
Well, you'll be here about 8:55. But anyway, let's try to get a good night's sleep tonight.
I intend on arriving around 8:20 tomorrow.
Fair enough. All right, guys, check us out on Twitter at The Vegas Taker. Thanks to all of our guests. We'll be back at you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Sean Hannity coming up next.
Your home for Sean Hannity. KDWN Las Vegas, KKLZ HD2 Las Vegas, a Beasley Media Group station.